Greetings, Rigil Agateiades here, and today I bring to you the newest Ursarctic deck I almost got to D.LV MAX. Halfway through 19, but I ran out of time. It's been a while since I last took the deck out, but the principle remains the same. We are still blinding second and breaking boards with Lava Golem, but a lot of the details about the deck has changed since last time. I mean, this deck seriously looks like a complete mess. Prosperity and extravagance and an extra deck that looks like everything in the meta, just to be completely removed by our own extravagance. So let's break it down. First of all, the card engines. Of course, we have the Ursarctics, but in the smallest form ever. 3 McPolar, 3 Departure, and 1 of each Big Bear. Whoa, isn't that too little for an Ursarctic deck? No, not at all. McPolar and Departure both start the entire combo with 1 card, and drawing a lot of Big Bears in the hand does not help in the first place. Not to mention, the triple tactics Thrust we'll cover later can also search Departure, so 8 copies of starters, just 1 less than the copies of Circular out there. Then we have the Adventurer engine you are probably familiar with already. Water Enchantress, Foolish, and 2 Rights, and then Journey, Griffin Rider, and Dracoback. Not gonna bother sugarcoating, they are probably more potent than the Ursarctic part of the deck on their own. But our bears are here to do what the Adventurer cannot, and the 2 together does miracles. Pearly no Septentrion out? Water Enchantress is the best departure pitch, and the Griffin Rider being a level 7 non-tuner is very important in this deck. It can be both a small bear, fodder for any bear in the hand, or just synchro material after a hand trap normal summon, 3+7 to make a Baron or a Cheng Ying. Then we have 2 Fenrirs and a Wraithsoft, too good to miss out in this deck. Removes a threat face down, level 7 non-tuner just like Griffin Rider, so it's a tribute in the hand, small bear on the field, refends itself, and the best way to out the cash board. Honestly think our deck has more uses for Fenrir than cash decks. Last and the smallest engine in here, 1 Ice Jade, Ran Egerin, and a Cradle. Not sure if I should even call it an engine. Not necessary, but they are here to serve as an extra option when using Thrust. It also opens access to Cheng Ying, our monster of choice to get over 3000 attack that can also cause headaches to a lot of decks. Engines over, time to cover the mess of other cards. 3 Ash, 2 caught by your usual cards to start Max C. Then we have the new addition to the deck, Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, probably the most unpopular Ghost Girl hand trap. Discarding it and revealing a card in your extra deck, you can look at your opponent's extra deck and banish all copies of the card you revealed. While it is devastating, the limitation of having less monsters than the opponent and running like 10 cards in the extra as targets greatly limited its usefulness in other decks. Not a problem for us though. Firstly, we don't need that many cards in the extra deck. Second, and probably more importantly, we don't go first. This automatically fulfills the requirement to use her, and we let her handle our bane of existence, Mirror Jade. The Rock of the Vanquisher and the Noir are also excellent targets. Then we have 2 copies of Thrust, such as all our engine starters. No Duster because Duster doesn't cut it anymore. Chain Big Welcome anyone? Onto the part that makes me look real mad. Extravagance, prosperity, and double talents. Yes, they don't work together, but the chances are you won't draw into each other. In comparison, you need every extra card to win. With less engine pieces than half the branded starters, screw branded, having all the draw power available makes the difference between getting the second engine piece to restart or getting ashed on Water Enchantress and pass. The extra deck costs is not ideal, but remember, Ghost Reaper will always be used before the pot on the first turn, and if you can't start, you're not using the extra deck anyway. Almost there, the final cards in the deck. The most powerful board breakers in the deck to decimate 1 deck type each, Denko Sekka and the Lava Golem. 1 Denko is just because I don't have the space. If you think you want to see it more, you can take talents out for extra copies of Lab Hate. And the Lava Golem is single-handedly the best card in the deck. Purely gone, Manadium gone, Swordso gone, Branded Dragon Link and the Mathmex half solved, best part being bouncing it back with Draco back and you have a fodder for your Ursarctics. Recycling is good for the planet. Extra deck. 2 Polari and 2 Septentrion to make cash players frustrated, then Baron, Chengying and Aegerin for our own synchro plays. Then it's all Ghost Reaper targets. Mirror Jade, Noir, Arise Heart, these take out the meta endpoints directly. Love seeing Vanquish Soul with no rock, Striker for the Dragon Link, and Zeus to double as our ultimate spell to clear cash boards. Fenrir battle Arise Heart Zeus. Finally a Laplacian because I don't want to spend UL points on a Lambertian. If I had the UL points I'd craft the Traptrix Sarah instead because we get trashed by them completely. Honorable mentions include Alpha, the Master of Beasts, Nibiru, and Gameciel. They are all really good cards in the deck in their own ways, only didn't make it into the deck because I'm out of space. That's the card by card, let's get on to the replays for some real action as we cover how to run the abomination of a deck. Starting off, we have a demonstration of how much we can go through in terms of raw power. Our opponent bricked and sets free, but they are all interruptions, perfect to demonstrate how we gas through interactions with an almost perfect hand and no complications. Pot of Greed to start, and then Foolish Burial manages to bait out a Caudaby, put Fenrir on the field, and then right to start the adventure line. Departure to search 2 bears, and then make Polar to trigger Fateful Adventure. We grab the Draco back, use Fateful Adventure to search the Griffin Rider, pitching the Draco back so we lose no cards as Draco back equips itself onto the Adventurer token. Then our opponent fires off a Karma Cannon before Griffin drops, but it's fine because we can tribute summon Griffin Rider. Thought we're good to go, summon Megapolar just to take a Nibiru immediately. But this way our opponent activated a monster effect so we can use triple tactics Thrust. Search Ice Jade Cradle, Megatanus just perfect to be cost for Ran Aegerin, third type of token on our field this turn, and we summon Chengying to walk over the Primal Being. Opponent draws his last card and concedes. Second duel, we go against the usual Wombo combo board. Opponents are on Manadiums and their combo to make negates around the entire universe, even making use of Mechanicals as extenders. Not going to get through it with this hand? Never mind. Start with Fenrir and a Lava Golem in their face. Leave the Colossus on the field because we can simply get rid of it with Fenrir's effect. Into battle, walk over the Cross Sheep, banishing the Colossus. Main phase Fenrir to search our fodder, takes the Ash as well. Insane value. Now we can combo in absolute peace. Departure pitching the Ghost Reaper we can't use since we cannot normal summon the turn we Lava Golem. Taking care to not pitch the Megatanus, which will act as our interaction on our opponent's turn, we'd surgically remove our opponent's board with Megapolar and Megabilis. Finally, a Grand Chariot to clear the big vanilla monsters on our opponent's field, and we end our turn. Good luck to our opponent, who probably used every Garnet in his deck. He summons Astrolaud for free and pops our Fenrir, and then summons Realm Heart, and then he calls battle because he's out of combo pieces. Megatanus flips the Astrolaud face down, and he surrenders. A good thing we banished the mechanical equip spell beforehand. Third duel, we go against the meta deck we love seeing, Pearlies. They start with their normal combo with growth trick cards and ending on a Noir, Utopic Future Dragon, and a lot of cards in hand. Not like their board means anything though. Starting our turn, they max C in the standby, standard response from us, Pot of Greed for 2 draws, and hello there. They add a lot of quick play spells to their hand with their friend Pearly, but with a second Caudaby in the hand, we fear nothing, and into the standard Ursarctic board we go. Departure should have searched the double Polar, so we have something to add from the deck. Into battle with 2 monsters before we make our last synchro to clear off the 3000 attack Lava Golem. Could have ignored the Pearly to be honest, and then Septentrion sit. Standby, main phase, opponent fought for 10 seconds or so and then surrenders. They have no out to our ace. Now a final duel where I used all my knowledge possible to stop one of the most unexpected of opponents. Gate Guardians! They are actually very threatening because Gate Guardian combined is extremely difficult to deal with. Our hand is good, but we can't Fenrir if we use our bears as hand trap. Suijin and Kazejin makes a double spell or trap negate, Heavy Tank grabs a Sanga, and then Souls pitches a Kazejin. That's 2 out of 3 pieces. We cannot let him grab the third at all costs, so we book the Souls even if it means we lose Fenrir. They stopped. Crisis averted for now, good thing I knew how their deck works. Our turn, normal the Ash because opponent has no max C, make a Baron instead to keep the back row down, also to pop the Wind and Water Guardian and the spell trap negates. Then we go into the Adventurer line. Draco back bounces the Suijin that actually has an effect. Fun fact, the Labyrinth War Shadow says only level 5 or higher monsters can attack the turn they are summoned. Good thing we have a lot of that. Remember, they now have Sanga on the field, Suijin in the hand and Kazejin in the graveyard so they can drop the combined Guardian once it's their turn. Use our Griffin Rider as a small bear so we can go into the Ursarctic line and clear the rest of his cards. Banishing the Kazejin from the grave is one less piece he can use. Got to do everything to keep the combined Guardian away. Prey of the Jirai Gumo, that thing pops monsters in this column, good thing we didn't summon to the right. Jirai Gumo graveyard effect to search, blew our Baron on that to prevent the combined Guardian coming, then a standby face Baron to summon back the Griffin Rider, not a single negate wasted. Negate the Chaos Magician so he can't send a third Kazejin as cost and our opponent concedes. Whew. Any step wrong and we'd have to face a huge floating non-targetable monster we can't out. Now a conclusion. It is good but not good enough. A tremendous amount of this deck depends on luck. A good hand is incredible, but there are a lot of cards in here that you don't want to draw. With Adventurer access limited and more importantly only 3 Lava Golems. A lot of the time we either break their board but can't stop the opponent afterwards, or we simply can't break the opponent's board without the Lava Golem. Most importantly, we are armed to go against the meta, especially with 3 copies of Ghost Reaper. But as they all headed off to stage 2, I only found 1 Vanquished Soul player in the last 20 matches. Ironically, we are losing to what is not the meta. Is it possible to do better? I'm sure it's possible, but I simply don't have the 5 hours a day to grind the DC Cup. A better player and some tweaks in the deck will probably make it through the last D level, and Konami, when will I get Polar Star?